there's the temporary mark that I was here. It looks remarkably like the shape of a coffin, doesn't it? That's scary. Anyway, this little spot that I thought was just going to be a respite from the storm for a short bit ended up being my whole night stay, and it was fantastic. It was super cold when I went to bed. It was probably low 40s. Boy, that storm that blew in was just so cold. But it ended up warming up to about 50 by early this morning. So it wasn't a bad night at all. And now I'm off. More road walking. I've got maybe a half day, maybe until noon before there's chances of rain coming in. I'll go a little ways this morning, and there's apparently a water spigot somewhere. I don't know if it's part of a campground or something where I can get water at. And then a little later on in the day, another one of the reasons that I decided to take this route is Davila Ranch. And I will talk more about that later. I couldn't show you the sunset this morning because as a reward to myself being a little bit ahead of schedule, I let myself sleep in about a half hour, which was nice. I have about 25 miles, well I did from where I woke up this morning, to get to Pie Town. And I've been needing to do about 16 miles a day to get there. So I'm quite a bit over. And there's no way I want to push it to do 25 miles today. I think that would just be counterproductive. So, divide that by 2. I really only have to do 12 and a half miles today and 12 and a half tomorrow. 12 and a half miles gets me about to that Davila Ranch. But I think what my plan is to go a little further than that and tent out somewhere. And then tomorrow, maybe I'll only have 8 or 10 miles to do to get into town. And that'll let me get to the restaurant where I sent my box and before they close, and maybe have dinner even there, and that kind of stuff. Instead of coming in really late, it'll make it comfortable. And then the day after that, I'll take my full 0 day before I head off on my next leg. That's what I'm thinking right now anyway. The best laid plans, Oh, as I'm walking around this corner, it's the greatest strong mint smell. Ah, so refreshing. I'm walking along. All of a sudden, this little rabbit just comes running right beside me, just like right back there. He's like just running beside me. So I stopped to get my phone. He just stopped right there. Bye. With instincts like that, you might become somebody's dinner. Poor guy. Well, this dirt road I've been on today is a lot like the one at the beginning of yesterday. It's just more of a, wide path, which has been really nice. A lot better than that gravel road I was doing for the end of yesterday. Anyway, now I'm heading onto a new road called Bear Canyon Road here. And it's interesting, this alternate has been marked CDT, even though it's not the actual CDT. But anyway, all right, so here we go. A couple of dry ponds that hikers can get water from way earlier in the season. Not that you need it around here. There's a few spots, so not too big a deal. It's a beautiful road, the area of this Bear Canyon Road. I think this baby gets a 10 out of 10. Nice. So, it says no trespassing, but it's a CDT, so I'm going for it. There are a few places where the CDT is on private land. So anywhere like this where it says private property, it can be various things. It could be land leased. It could actually be someone's private property. Oftentimes the road is an easement, so it's public. So anyway, the important thing to know is whenever you're in one of these spots where it's questionable like that, you just do not camp here. So, you know, as long as you stay on the road and just hike through and don't leave trash and don't tent somewhere and don't, you know, mess things up. No one's gonna care. It doesn't really matter. Just gotta be respectful of it, like you should everywhere. Only a couple of weeks ago, there were still some nice little pools of water down here in this creek hikers could pull from. Well, this is the end of Bear Canyon Road. And I didn't see a single bear. And now I'm pulling on to Ed Jones Road. So I wonder what my chances are of seeing any Ed Joneses. Ooh. Well, somebody definitely lives here. Some fencing back there and some old cars sitting around, work trucks and tools and different things. So people just passed me in a couple of trucks and went up what must be a driveway going way up into there. Well, kind of junky out here, but I guess it's their land. They can do what they want, right? Unless it's public land, and these are maybe, some of this maybe is even public work stuff. Water tank right back there, but on the map it shows I'm not quite to the location where the water spigot should be, so I'm assuming that's not it. You gotta wonder out in a place like this what a water spigot's just doing out here, you know? Is it a tank like that somebody set up just for hikers? Is it something that they use for cattle or something that they allow hikers to use? Who knows? But I don't think there's a public park or a campground right here. That's really cool to see out here. And it looks like a water spigot is really literally just a spigot right out here by a well cap and by an electric pole. So I don't know what it's for, but it's great that it's here. Aha! And it works. Yeah. Well, I took advantage of the spigot to give myself a little bath. Just my hair, my face, and my neck, and all that. So, and I'm being lazy, letting gravity do the work right here. So, yeah, that's awesome that this is out here. All right, I'll be on my way soon. Well, it's really opened up. About 5 miles away from Davila Ranch, and not exactly sure what to expect. It's somebody's homestead. I think that people live there. I don't know who the people are or even how many there are, but it's really just a CDT rest stop, and they provide about anything people want. Like people have talked about, there's even food in the fridge you can cook with and this and that. Everything's on a donation basis. You can tent there. You can, you know, they certainly have water for anybody coming through. Water jugs you can get. Anyway, I don't know. I really don't even need it. I don't need any food. I don't need a place to sleep. I'm probably not going to stop there to stay overnight. So, you know, just stop there, grab some water, maybe say hi to everybody. If it's the right time, maybe I'll have an early lunch and just see what the place is about. But it's super cool that there are places like that along the CDT, just like the other trails. Just there to support hikers. And also, this is a big area for biking. Some big bike trails come through here. And so some of these places are kind of set up for that as well. I know Davila Ranch is. I know that the bunkhouse, which is in Pie Town, which is where I'll probably stay, is also caters to the bicycling community. Dipping Vat Road is right here. I wonder if Dipping Vat is kind of a, you know, there's something behind it around here, something, because that is also the campground that I got water at when I was just coming out of the Gila River alternate. I came up that big hill and there was that nice campground with all the tables that had the water spigot and the privies and stuff. Anyway, that was called Dipping Vat Campground. It just seems like a weird coincidence. These bulls out here stress me out a little bit. Well, the Davila Ranch should just be right almost here. I think it's on the left, and I think it's just right beyond this big tree up here. I was right, it was just beyond this big tree, but looks like it's on the right. Davila Ranch, CDT stop. Just follow the footprints. Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, there's a place to do some charging. Doesn't look like there's anybody here. There's laundry. Yep, I heard there were some things like that you can cook up if you want. Looks like somebody was just here a day ago. Wow. Looks like out here there's toilets, and I think these are showers. Shower there, maybe a shower stalls here. Place to wash things up, so very cool. Well, of course this doesn't appear to be someone's house, which is interesting, so I wonder if they have another place they live, or, you know, around here or whatever. But all right, I want to just start getting some things together. I'm not sure whether I'm going to stay here tonight or not. Well, I've got my everything charging, got a video uploading. I'm debating on, I need to eat some lunch, but they've got some eggs in the fridge. They've got some cans of pork and beans out, and just out over there. And I thought I might just mix some of those up. They've got like some gas burners back there, cook something up if I'm going to stay here. My thought was that I was going to keep hiking on, but it got so hot out there towards the end of before I got here, and I just put my thermometer out there in the sun, and it says about 100 and what did it say? 104 in the sun. That is too hot. So because it's so hot, I was thinking I might just stick around here and just hike into town in the morning. As you can see, I have my shirt off. I washed it. Looks like there's maybe a problem with the washing machine anyway. There's another one, but I wasn't sure whether I should use it. So anyway, I just washed it in the sink real quick, threw it out in the sun to dry, just so it'll be a little cleaner. And yeah, I'm just gonna do a few things around here and see. I think I'm at least gonna stick around a couple of hours, and maybe later when it cools off, I'll think about hiking a little further into town, and maybe not. When I first got here, it registered about 112 in the sun, and now it's up to 115. So yeah, I might hang around here. It's the weirdest thing. One minute you're walking through the desert, it's 110. Next minute you're making eggs and beans and onions, and it's like, oh, that's crazy. Look at this setup. I'm even gonna put some hot sauce on it when I'm done. Yum. Wow, I've been inside editing video and uploading and stuff, and I came out here. Clouds, the sun's covered up, and oh my gosh, it's nice and cool. Makes me think I need to get out of here, but let's see, some of my stuff here is almost dry. I don't know. But it sure is nice though. I might take off, we'll see. Well, I came back out here a little bit ago, and the clouds had parted a bit, and it was smoking hot again. So I just went back in, said forget it for now, we'll see. And now the clouds are back, and you can probably hear on the metal roof that it is slightly raining. I can not even really feel it, but it's barely starting to rain. So I know, we'll see. There's plenty of clouds around. But I think I've made the decision. I'm hanging out here tonight for sure. And then one thing I realized, since there are no other people here, I'm not sure really what I'll do. I might just try to figure out how to sleep in there, but what they've done is they've actually have these like three-sided horse, barns or whatever you call them. There's one here, and then there's one back behind these trees that you can set up your tent in, and that way it's all protected and everything. And that's pretty cool as well. I tell you, this place is amazing. So I'm gonna figure out how to spend my night here.